So hello friends, welcome back, and in this video we are going to see in this video we are going to see the problem C of round 650. Okay, so the problem name is social distance. So first of all I will explain the problem statement, and let me check that if it is not lagging, because if you guys will see the video D, then you will get pretty much sure that it was already recorded and I recorded again because of that video audio lag seen in the last few videos. So I will quickly explain the problem C. So it says that you will be having a value of n and a value of k. You will be having a string of length n. Suppose the string is something like that, one. Suppose, yeah, and the one thing is that the string s of length n will have letters only zeros and ones. Okay, 1 means it is occupied and 0 means it is not occupied. So it is 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. So 1 indicates it is occupied and 0 indicates it is not occupied, and the value of k is 2. It states that suppose I have places like this, and suppose it is occupied and it is occupied. So for our string, it should be good. It is good when the suppose it is I, it is j. So j minus I should be more than k. More than or more than equal to, I guess. 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it should be more than. Yeah, it should be more than k. So we just need to find how many such one I can place in this string so that I am still able to make my array as good. So let's have a few examples, and from those examples we will check how we can approach this problem. So scrolling a bit, yeah. So first of all, my n is 6, my k is 1. So my string will be 1 0 0 0 1 and 0. So okay, when I first of all see this question, then I will check, is it possible to make this 0 as 1? If I make this, then you will say that suppose it is I equal to 1, so I is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you will say, hey Aaron, I 1 minus 0, it is 1 only and it should be more than k. So you are not able to place 1 here. So I will not place my 1 here. So it will remain 0 as it is. Okay, it is 0 as it is. Now I move to this second 0. I check its index is 2, and that 1 which was placed before it was placed here. So it was placed at index 0. So 2 minus 0, it is more than 1. Okay, yay. So we can place here. But before that, I will also say that we should also check if the one which is beyond this particular index, we should also check that particular one also. So you will also check that 4 minus 2, it should also be more than 1. So from this particular thing, I got the intuition that I need to know what is the previous one and what is the just next one. Suppose to a particular index, what is the just previous one and what is the just next one. Okay, fine. Now if I just wanted this, so first of all, as usual, I will have a prefix array, I will have a suffix array. So if I am having a prefix array and a suffix array, then what I will do is I will initially mark them as -1 because nothing is, I don't know nothing about them initially. But if now, first of all, write the prefix array. Okay, let's write the prefix array. It is 1 here. So the index of 1 I found was it is 0, the index is 0. Here it is 0, so I will just copy the last index, which is 0. So the 0 indicates here that the previous index of 1, it is 0. And if let's suppose 1 was not here, if let's suppose I had 0 in here, I had 0 here, so it would be -1, it would be -1. So -1 indicates that no 1 was before this particular index. Okay, so let's move back, how it moves back. So yeah, okay, so let's write it again. So it was 1 and it was 0 only. Now I move on to this particular 0. I will see that the last occurrence of this was 0 only, so I just move this 0 here also. Now for this it is also 0. For the 1 here, it will be the index of this particular 1, which is 4, so I write 4 here. And for this particular last 0 value, as the last occurrence of 1 was at index 4, so I will write 4 here. Finally, I got my prefix array. Now for suffix array, from last I will move on. The index is 0, so I will just not update its value, it will be -1 only. It is 1, so I update its index to its actual index 4. If it is 0, I just copy my last index, which means the index of this, so I will copy 4 here. Similarly, 4 here, 4 here. Here, as you can see that the index is, the value is 1, so I will just mark it again 0. Now from this array we will check. What we will check? We will check that here my I is 0, here my I is 1, here my I is 2, here my I is 3, I is 4, here my I is 5, and I have a value of k. So I will clearly check if my I minus prefix of I, if it is more than k, and suffix of I minus I should also be more than k. If these two conditions satisfy, then I can clearly update my value, which was 0, as 1. So let's check. So initially I have 1 0 0 1 0, so let's write them below. So let's write it. I have initially 1 0 0 0 1 0. Now I need to update this array, which means I need to update this string. Okay, fine. I will check for every value. If I minus prefix of I is more than k, so 0 minus 0, if it is more than k, no, it is actually 0, and 0 is not more than, what's the value of k? It is 1, so 0 is not more than 1, so yeah, it will not be updated. And actually it is already 1, so you cannot actually update it. Now moving on to the next index. Here I is 1, so 1 minus, for this 1 minus 0, is it more than 1? No, so it will also not be updated. Okay, let's move on. Here it is 2 minus 0, which is 2, which is more than 1. Okay, fine. 4 minus 2, which is 2, which is more than 1. So actually it is fine that I can update it, so I will update it as 1. Okay, now let's move on to the, okay, let's rub it. Yeah, so now let's move on to the next index. Here I have 3 minus 0 as 3, which is more than 1, and now I have 4 minus 3, which is 1, which is not more than 1, so I will not update it. But if you actually see one thing clearly, that the 0 indicates the recent occurrence of 1 just before this particular index, and it was the 1 which was because of this index I equal to 0, as you can see here. So the 0 indicated this, but after updating my 1 here, as you can clearly see that the value will not remain 0 here, so it will be updated to 1 actually. So after updating this, I will make sure that if the value is already not occupied, if it means that when I was on I, particular I will check if I plus 1 is 0, then I will sure shot update my I plus 1 with the previous I, which means I will update my I, not this particular string, but this I here. I will update my prefix of I plus 1 with prefix of I only when my prefix of I plus 1 is not 0. Sorry, if it is 0, only then I will update it. Sorry, if it is not occupied, which means my prefix of I minus 1 is I plus 1 is minus 1, or you can say it is, if it is less, if my prefix of I plus 1 is less than prefix of I, then I will update it. Or actually you can have any condition according to your how you make a prefix array. As you can see in the code, let me show you the code. As you can see that in problem C, I made my prefix array like that. So I put my condition of prefix of I plus 1 is less than prefix of I. Okay, fine. Then where I am, yeah, then I just updated my last index of this as my 2. Okay, see, you can see I updated my index as prefix of I. Okay, so actually I updated this as 2, so I also updated my next index as 2. Okay, fine. Then I will check, it will also not satisfy the condition, which means here I will do 3 minus 2 basically, and 4 minus 3, so it will not satisfy. And here it is 4, it will not also satisfy, it will not also satisfy. So the answer would be 1, as I was only able to change one thing. So if you guys have understood it up till now, then I will recommend to move to the section where I explain the code. But still, if any of you are with the doubt, then I will take one last example so that you guys will understand it. So here it is 0 0 0, and how many zeros? 6 zeros. So n is equals to 6 and k was 2. So let's make my prefix array. As you can see that initially all are 0, so it will be minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 and minus 1. Suffix will be also minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 and minus 1. Now let's start. So prefix I will update, suffix I will update, I will also update my array. So starting off with this, as you can see both are minus and minus 1, so I can simply place my value here. So I will place my 1 here. If I place my 1 here, so its index is 0, here the index is 1, this is 2, index is 3, index is 4, index is 5. So now you will ask, Aryan, why you will not update this suffix? It will also change. See, it will not change because the suffix indicates the value which was next, which was 1, the value which was beyond, which was 1, and the prefix indicates the value which was previous, which was 1. And actually I am moving like this in my for loop, so I am updating this, and not like this, or this. So my value will always be updated like this. So I just need to update my prefix. Okay, so let me erase these unnecessary lines and points. Yeah, so now as I updated my value as 1, so I will update my prefix as, the index, or you can say the value, so it will be updated by 0. Now I will move on to next. I will and I will also update this 0 when I will moving on next, because as you can see that the prefix of I plus 1 was less than prefix of I, so I updated my prefix of I plus 1 as prefix of I. Okay, so yeah, so it was the reason for that. So the value of updated as prefix, then I will check if 1 minus 0, if it is more than 2, that means 1 minus 0 is more than 2. No, it is not. So I will just move on, and when I'm moving on, I will check the value this again. See, the value I showed you here, it is only to update the prefix so as it is needed, because I am putting my value as 1 at every step. So at every step, my prefix of I would change, because it stores the just recent previous occurrence of 1. Understand? Thus I will update this as 0. I will check 2 minus 0 is more than 2. No, it is not. I will move on. I will update this as 0. I will check 3 minus 0 is more than 2. Yes, it is. So I will update it as 1. I will now update it as 1. I will check 4 minus 1 is more than 2. 4 minus, sorry, it is index is 3. So update it as 3. So it is also updated as 3. Let me write clearly. So it is updated as its index value, which is 3. So when I move on, I will update its index as prefix as 3. So I will check 4 minus 3 is more than 2. No, it is not. I will move on. I will check 5 minus 3 is more than 2. No, it is not. So my final answer will be 2, as I updated the index this, as you can see here, and the index this, as you can see here. So I hope up till now you guys must have understood it. So let's quickly see the code. So the code is pretty simple. So first of all, I had input my t, number of cases, then I input my n and k, then I input my string s, then I have my prefix and suffix array. Okay, then I mem set them as -1. So as to check that if it is initially -1, then no constraints are for them. If my prefix is -1, then I have no constraints for it. If it is actually any another value than -1, it means that it actually is affected by some index. So -1 is to only make sure that it is unaffected. Okay, then I have my prefix and suffix array. Very fine. I will initially, it is not required, but I will check that if my first element is 1, then I should mark my prefix of 0 as the index value. Okay, if my suffix of n-1 is 1, then I should mark my suffix of n-1 as n-1, because I am moving my loop from 1 to n and from n-2 to 0, or you can say from 1 to n-1, and another loop is from n-2 to 0. So I hope that the recording is going fine. Yeah, it is going fine. So I will check that. First of all, I will check if it is 0, sorry, if the value at s of I is 1, then I will update my prefix as the particular index. But if it is not, then I will just have my previous prefix value. Similarly, when I am having my value of suffix, I will check if the s of I is 1, then I will update my suffix as the particular index. But if it is not, then I will have my suffix of I plus 1 as the suffix, as it is basically how you find the prefix and suffix sums. Now my answer 0, it indicates the number of changes which could happen in the string s, and val1 and val2, it indicates the value 1 and value 2 for the, like when you do for the prefix, when I minus prefix, and value 2 for suffix minus I. So initially I will have the maximum of them. I will mark them as maximum, because ultimately I just need to check if minimum of these is more than k, because if minimum is more than, then the one which is bigger will also be bigger than k. So I will check that if it is not -1, because if it is -1, then we have no constraints for it. We have only constraints when it is not equal to -1. So I will check if it is not equal to -1, then I will update my value of val1 as I minus prefix. If it is not -1, then I will update my value 2 as suffix -i. Okay, then I will have my answer plus plus, because if minimum is also more than k, then I will update my answer as answer plus plus. And I will also update my prefix, because now the prefix will change because the 1 is occupied at this place. And as I clearly said that at any step, if my prefix of I plus 1 is less than the prefix of I, then I will update my prefix of I plus 1 as the prefix of I. And ultimately I will have my answer printed. So this was it. Okay, so I hope that you guys got it, and I hope that I was able to explain each and every step, how prefix sums was useful here and how we need to update the prefix sums as we go on further. So it was a trick that we should update the prefix sums as we go on further. So I hope that you guys like the video, and if you guys like the video, then please hit the like button. It motivates a lot. And see you guys in the next video. Bye, and thanks for watching.